Okay, so it's a recording now, right? Good. So now shadcn. So what is shadcn, right? Let's quickly look at the definition. So if you look at the definition here in the shadcn website, build your component library, right? It says build your component library. Look at this heading, you know. So by using their component, you can build your own, right? Let's say you have one project, correct, and you install the shadcn there, right? Now you can choose whatever you need from there and build your own. I mean, you can just make some changes, and just make it work for your project. Okay, so that is the shadcn, right? It's not the library which you have to follow their pattern. It's just the open, right? Open to upgrade as our need. Okay, you can do that one, but they have already given a lot of reusable code. We just use that one, and I mean, they're saying they will be keep adding a lot of more in the future, right? So if we go to the document, if you look at the dashboard, where is that? Okay, let's go to the document here on the top. Okay, document. So reusable components built by using. So even the shadcn, right, is a component built using Redux UI. So there is something called Redux. I have never used that one. Tailwind CSS. Tailwind we are using, right? So it's all about Tailwind and Redux UI. So they combine these two, right, and make some kind of library to be used in a project. Okay, fine. So that is there, right? So look at this one again. This is not a component library. What is saying, right? This is not a component library. Means, let's say if you want to build a whole website, right, and there you're going to use a lot of components. I mean, somebody has built the component already, okay, and that you can use. It's not like that. It something like that, but basically it's not the component library, okay, which is already like ready-made. It's not like a, let's say when you go to the restaurant, right, and have a burger. When you ask for a burger, it's everything there already, right, and you're going to use it. I mean, you can just eat the burger, right? But here it's not like that. You're going to get the bread separate, you're going to get the maybe cheese, whatever, all piece by piece you put together and make your own library, right? Okay, so what do you mean by not a component library? Okay, here is already question, that what do you mean by not a component library? Okay, I mean, you do not install it as a dependency. Okay, so if you have component library, you have to install in your system, right? And it is not available or distributed via npm also. Means, you can, I mean, it is not available through the npm, right, where you can install and use the library. It's not like that. It's just like a Tailwind CSS. I mean, you configure it and you can add the classes given by the Tailwind, or you can add your own style, right, in the square bracket, whatever, or you can configure the Tailwind config file with your own style. Okay, you can do that all. So it's like a whole freedom, right? You can have. So now if you go to the installation, you can see you can install for all this framework, Vite, Remix, Gatsby, all that, right? We are using Next.js. These all are the JavaScript framework. Okay, this JavaScript framework, right? We're just using Next.js. Okay, so we're gonna install in Next.js. Next one, right? Next one is let's say installation. So component. So let's look at the theming process, right? Theming is there. Okay, so let's go to the first. I will show you a couple of component, right? So here is a component now. Component, okay. So this is installation in all these things. Then dark mode, light mode. If you look at here, you can see, even you can build this easily. Light mode, like this, dark mode. So maybe we will check this one also example, right? Because nowadays, every website you're gonna see this light and dark mode icon, so we will see how we can implement this. And what else? Let's see. Dark mode, light mode, right? Now the components, look at the components. So accordion, right? Accordion. So I use this in my project, okay, in my project, right? This one, because I was looking for something very simple, right, and easily to implement. And if you look at now here, right, that is, I think, LD personal, right? This is the website, and this is live now, okay. Okay, so now if you go back here, let's see, yeah, in the job section, okay, in the job section, right? So this accordion, look at here, so still need to update this because they have not given me this part. Still I'm waiting for some document, right, to, because they only, like, they are the small company, that they have this 4 section they hire employee for, okay. So something like that. Go to job details and you can apply. This is apply directly, right? This is in the German language, and you can just apply from here. So when you put all the file, attach the resume and comment and submit, this will send the email to your email, right, directly. So, and also the contact phase. So now in the contact you can send email from the website, or you can book the meeting, right? You can book the meeting through the what is this one, Calendarly. So I have set up the Calendarly here, right? And it's little slow. I don't know why it's loading slow, but you're gonna see. Okay, but I was talking about the let's go back, right? Oh, why is not loading? Something wrong. So click here and it should load, right? Yeah, so it will load the meeting, but it still need to, like, if you need to set up your meeting, right, you can just select here and set up the meeting, okay. Okay, that is the thing, right? But I use one component, this one, okay, from the shadcn, right? And you can see now it's very easy to use. So we will look at this also, okay, later. So let me close that. Okay, guys, so now let's look at the button, right? Button, where is the button? So this is alphabetically order, okay. There are so many components now, you can check. And if you go down to the B, where is B? Here, right? Button. So this is one of the very simple component, and you see the New York, something like that. This is different style, right? So when you set up our shadcn, you're gonna see either you want to add default or New York, the, what you call that, the library, right? Library, or basically the configuration file, we can call it. So it will just select from that one, and it has little slight different, right? Okay. Now the good thing I will show you now, right? If you go to the theme here, look at here, they already have the ready-made theme, right? If you want to customize this, so this is right now orange color, let's say yellow, look. So this, it will be something like this, correct? Let's change the mode, right? Make it light mode. Look at here, see, if you go dark mode, it looks something like this, right? Already. So when we start styling in the proper way, everything will be happen automatically, right? I mean, so we will see how the shadcn is doing all these things, okay. And look at this. So there are a couple of things you can select, right? And you can later you can write the whole project, right? And let's say you want to change with this one, this you like it, okay. So you just customize here, and there are more, right? Whatever you want to select that. And I think yeah, default or New York, whatever you want. Even you can change the radius, radius you can change. So 0.5 is I think okay, so that will be give the radius of your the button, right? See, it's all changing, that radius of the button, how much you want. And after, right, what you can do is let's say copy the code here, and if you that code you place in your project, right, and the whole site will be changed according to this color. Okay, so whichever theme you like it, you can change, right? Already it's very, I mean, I really like it, right? For me it's you know. Okay, so let's go back now installation and see how it works now. So first what is saying, right? Okay, let's look at the theme. Okay, that was the theme, and here are some examples. So in the example, right, this is a dashboard example. Okay, this is the dashboard, right? But let's not go to the example, straight go to our installation, and from there we're gonna move. So if I click next.js, installation, go to the installation next.js, and you will see this, right? Either you can install using this, it will install the next.js app with the my app name. You can change this name. It has TypeScript, you can remove that one. Tailwind is already there, and ESLint is already there, right? So what we're gonna do, we're not gonna use this, right? We're gonna install the way we are installing our next.js, okay? And then initialize the initialize, right? That at shadcn, that is what we're gonna do. So in our next.js installation, we have the command, right? npx create next app latest. So just few days, I think 2 days before, I figured out, I mean, I knew, I just was reading something, right? And the next.js has now new version, I think 14 point something, right? 12 13 yeah, 14 point some, so 14.1 or something like that. But it will, I mean, everything will be same, right? Right now maybe there are a lot of upgrade, but for us right now, the work process almost will be same. Okay, so let's copy this and install the next.js. Once again, I will turn off my phone. Okay guys, so go back in our Visual Studio and open the terminal, right? So here, see, I'm in the folder already, next.js shadcn, right? Shadcn, and I'm going to install the next.js application. So dot slash, right? Let me, okay, and enter. So it will install in the same folder, correct? It's gonna ask me a couple of things, so let's go through that. So TypeScript, I don't, for now we don't need, so let's go no. ESLint, yes. Tailwind CSS, yes. Source folder, no. App router, yes, we're working with app, right? App router now. Alias, import alias, the import alias means when you import any folder, right, or file, not folder, but your module or file, it will just add the red slash to the root directory. Okay, if something is in root, it will say add the red slash, and maybe, for example, let's say component folder or whatever, right? So we're just going to use the default way of doing things, default, right? So in this case, I mean, you can change it, but we don't have to, right? We just keep it no here, and that's it. So we got the next.js installation process here already. So once we done with template app tw, okay. So let it install, and then after we're gonna set up our shadcn. So that's how you install the next.js, and let it finish, and then we're gonna continue with shadcn. So we're gonna just look at one example and try to understand how it works, right? Okay, and if you get that idea, then you can use any component, I mean, from the shadcn there. So okay, so we done, right? So look at here, this is the public folder, we all know, right? You can add all the images, something inside the public. Then in the app we have favicon global css. So in global css you're going to see the tailwind now, right? Tailwind, and there is some basic css, right? Already for the next.js, so we're going to remove that one, we don't need. Okay, so we're going to remove it. Let's remove, right, for now. Yeah, okay, so delete that. And layout, so in the layout, you know, in the layout is what basically the main file, right? Layout is a main file which has the HTML here. See that HTML, the layout is the root layout, this is the root layout, okay? And it has the HTML where we are returning all the children, right? All the pages basically as a children, okay? So next.js will do all the magic, right? In the root layout it knows, right, to which route, any route you have to go, it will be passed as a children here. For example, this page is the root route, okay? Localhost 3000, that is this page. So I'm gonna clean up, right? Let's clean this up, everything here. I'll just click the main and delete it, and then add main again, right? Okay, and let's call it home page. Home page. So I can delete everything from here and rewrite the arrow function. We can do that, or you can leave it like this. So let's delete, and I will convert to arrow function. Okay, so React arrow function. So component, guys, remember component. Now everything is component in React. Okay, so when I say component, always remember component is a function and it returns the HTML. So even, you know, we're talking about this component, this library, or some CSS style. So everything is component now. You know, whatever you're gonna see now, right, with the shadcn, everything is component. Okay, you're just getting some component. Maybe let's say you get a button component, right? It may be using other things there, other component also. Okay, so always remember component. And when I say component, there will be HTML return, some kind of HTML, right? Component always return HTML. Okay, so component is a function, start with the capital first character, and it returns HTML. First you clear yourself, right? Component, what is component? And it can, you know, you can pass the props here, it can have the state and all that things. State is a variables, right? Now there are many hooks you will be using. Hooks helps to basically manage our you know, there are different hooks for different purpose, right? Okay, so, you know, for creating a variable, use state hooks. We learn, you know, if you need to run your component with some effect, then you have use effect hooks. You know, there is use context to basically transfer the data, right, throughout the component. Use what was that? Use if use context, right? Then there is the, you know, I mean, you have learned about the ref, and there are a couple of more, right? We learned before. So just remember, all these hooks are used for different purpose. Okay, so that is component. Props and state, remember that, props and state, because you will be always passing something in the component, always. Okay, clear? And you're gonna see the example just in a few minutes. Okay, so that's it, right? We have done the updates here. It looks something like this, and I think everything will be fine now. Yeah, so let's install the shadcn. Okay, let's go back now. So in shadcn, the first part you don't have to do, we have already done according to our requirement. Okay, so just copy this now. See, so when you click here, right, this menu, the drop down menu came, and we'll see how you get this also. Okay, in shadcn component. So npm, we are using npm, click on that, and we're going to initialize now. This is npx shadcn UI latest init, right? Initializing the shadcn in our project, and see what happened when you call this, right? So you just paste here and then enter. So now pay attention, okay? Just pay attention, right? It's gonna ask us something. So remember I show you okay, will you like to use TypeScript? No, right? Why I don't want to use TypeScript? Why it added? Let me go back, right? And so I want no TypeScript, okay? Now enter, right? Because I think by mistake I press the key S, you know. So now the default, there is two kind of theme right now, default and new work, right? So we'll just leave it default, okay? Just leave it default. And then the color, right? What kind of color you want? Slate, gray, zinc, natural, stone. So these things you can change later, right? You can change the whole theme, you know. You can change the whole code, right? Also from that library from here, you know. Let's say if you go to the theme here, you can choose, right, which one you want. Just choose whatever, and then you can change the whole thing. You just have to copy the code and place it there, and it will change. Everything will be changed automatically. So select. So I'll just leave it select for now, okay? Select, right? And app global CSS, is this the right place, right folder? Yes. So in the app we have this global CSS. Yes. So we just click enter. Would you like to use the CSS variable? Yes. Tailwind config now, right? So tailwind config JS is already there, right? So just leave it like that. Enter. Now in the root directory, right? In the root we don't have @ component. So if you just enter, right, it will create there, okay? Something like it will just create the components folder here. And why we need this, you will see just now, right? Okay. And the inside the leave there will be the leave folder, right? And inside there will be a utils file, okay? So let's enter. And rest react server component, yes, leave it, yes, no problem. And now proceed, right? So you can enter, or I just enter it. It will just proceed. Enter will proceed, because there is proceed already, right? So that is true. Enter, it will just proceed. And so look at here, the component folder created, component folder, and it's empty. There is nothing, right? Component folder. We know the app is all from the before, right? Everything is same, no change. Okay. Component folder created, there is nothing. The leave, in the leave folder there is utils file, okay? And what is this? This is very important now, right? So I want you guys to make a note. So what is CLSX, right? What is this library? CLSX, right? What is this? And what is tailwind merge, right? These two things I will find the video and send you guys also, okay? Because this is the new things, right? You know, I recently figured out, okay? I did not know that also. But what this does, right? Remember, now in using this shadcn or any component library made from the tailwind, okay? Any component library you're going to use from the tailwind, right? Sometimes you're going to see the CSLX, this component, or let's call it maybe the function, right? This is a function, okay? But you're getting from this library. So what this function does, right? It combines everything you're gonna pass as a props later. It will just combine properly, because maybe you will be writing your own styles, right? So first you need this one. So now what happened, you creating the function, you just create this function here. So this is the two library, right? I'll see how it work now, right? And tailwind merge, okay? So you just create a simple function, and the name of the function is cn, and you spread operator. So this is the object, right? So anything you're gonna pass later, that will be object, okay? So that object will be spread like this. You just add all this spread, means everything dot 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 inputs. So this is a parameter inputs, right? But by adding spread operator, you now grab everything from whatever you will be sending later in the component, okay? Fine. And then you returning this tailwind merge, right, function. So whatever you get as the input, you pass in the CLX function as a parameter, you pass it, not parameter, but this is the value now, right? This is a value, okay, argument. So you pass all the input value to the CLX first, and then you pass that one to the tailwind merge function. That's it. That is all, right? You have to, so here, you just understand this, okay? But make a note about this, and I think I will send you video also, right? What is I found one video. There is some explanation you can go through, right, later, what exactly it is doing, right? But this is all you have to remember. I mean, maybe you think what is this file and what it's doing, right? It's just combining all the classes of the tailwind together, right? Putting together properly, because sometimes you will have maybe some kind of condition, something in your tailwind, right? Or maybe in your component. So everything is handled by this properly, right? So that is the job of the CLX and the tailwind merge, okay? So you have to write it in this way. I mean, the shadcn already included, right? So we don't have to worry about all that, okay? It's done. Now it's finished, okay? It's finished, right? That is all about the installation. So let's first, we're gonna look at the button component, okay? So how you gonna, I want to use button component now. How are we gonna use that, right? So where is the button here? Button component, okay. So in the button component, you just copy this. So every component now, right, when you go, you're gonna find the installation process, okay? So you can do the manual, right? Manual something, there is, you just copy this whole code, right, and you can use it. You can just copy the code, and you can see, you can just copy this code and you can use, right, like this, and put in the button file, and it will work. But the easiest way is, CLI, command line interface, right? Just copy this, and it will help us to install that and see how it does, okay? So once I install this, I just copy that link, right, and enter, and it just install the same thing, okay? Same thing what I show you here, right? If you go to the manual and this expand, this one, exactly these things is installed now. This code, right, is added, okay? And I will show you now where is that. So we're done, okay? So now how are you going to use that? How are you going to use now, right? So let's see, there is different button variants, link, you can use button variant helper to create the link that looks like a button, okay? So see, sometimes you have the link, right, and you want to make that link look like a button, then you can just call this functionality, okay? You just call that function, right? So see the button variant, and you pass the variant and also the whatever text here for the link. So what is this variant? We're going to look at just now, okay? And then if you have to, even you can use the button, right, like this for the link. You can use directly, or for the link, that in that case, right, because the link is the main, you want to make the link the main component, then you just put this, you just pass this text, right, as child. So now this button will behave like a child, not the parent, okay? Because remember, in our HTML you have parent box, then child box, but the link always we try to make it direct, right, in somewhere. So in that case, even though it will look like a button, but it will be not inside the button, okay? Even you add in the button, right, but this will be not the child of the button. Okay, so that is something given there, right, to use. Okay, so that is lot. Let's go and use now, right? So let's go back here. So what we can do first, we understand the code. Let's go back. So see, in the component, in the UI, right, see, it just added the UI folder, and every time when you install any shadcn, it will be added to the UI folder, and that is button. Okay, so now you see a lot of code here, right? My god, too much. So there is a this function, right, is exporting two things, the button and the button variant. Always look at the things you're getting back, right, from this component, button and button variant. So we saw why we need button and what you can use for this button variant also. Okay, and we will check this example now. So look at here, that cn from the lib, right, from the lib utils, you get that cn function, and you're gonna combine all that, right, somewhere here, because you have to pass. See, there is so many things. Look at here, so many things, right, written together. But first, let's look at this button component. This is the component, correct? Button component, and React forward ref. This is some kind of, I think, the coming from the React, right? So just remember, this is something, the function coming from the React. So React.forward ref, and inside there you passing all this object, right? I mean, basically you passing this object now. So what are the things you pass now? So you can pass class name, variant, size as child equal to false, and props, right, and also ref. So where is all this coming from? Here, look at here, you have variant. Okay, so what is variant now, right? What is variant? This is important. Okay, so this variant is the object, and it has variant property inside, right? And now there is already different classes, like different style applied: default, destructive, outline, secondary, ghost, and link. See, for one button, all this style are made already, and you can make your own, right? Everything has bg primary, text primary. I mean, see all this tailwind now classes, right, added here already. Okay, so this bg primary, text primary, foreground, and all that. So where this all coming from now? All these classes, where are you getting from? Right, in the tailwind you did not see that one, I mean, you saw the bg, then there was like slate 900 something like that, right? But bg primary, the background primary. So where all this coming? So now that's the shadcn now doing some magic, right? What it has done is, so just understand this thing. Okay, the variant, now there is a size, and this is the default variant, right? So in the beginning, when the button, if you don't call anything, it will be loaded as a default. Okay, default variant. So this will load, right, default. But if you change now here, let's say my button, when I use this button, if you want ghost, then you can change here ghost, right? And also you can change the size, maybe what size you want, right? Default, small, large, or like an icon. Okay, so if you have icon, you can use the icon also, right, sometimes. Okay, and we will see maybe in the example. So this is the size already given, 4 sizes there. This is the default, and you have the variant already. Okay, so button, see, all these things are coming from here, right? CVA. So whatever is the CVA function here, so where it getting from? Class variance authority, right? Class variance authority. Okay, so import CVA from class variance authority. So some kind of maybe library, and from there we have CVA, right? And inside that CVA you add these classes already. So this is tailwind classes. Okay, now this is exact tailwind classes, then you have the object with the variant property, and then variant sizes and the default. Okay, so these all things are made, right? The button variant here. Fine. So we know the cn. Now cn will now combine all that together. So look at here now how cn will work. So class name, variant, size, as child, false, and the props, anything you're gonna pass. So even you later in the button you want to pass any props, still it will work. Okay, because you have these props here. So this is the complete freedom, right? You can pass, you can pass anything, and you have the option to accept in your button. Okay, so now let's say const, and there is something, this is like a component, right? As a child, if that is true, then use slot. If false, then you're gonna use a button, right? So the as a child is what here, look at here, as a child is false. Look at his as a child, right, is false. So this, if you make it true here, then you will be using something here. Okay, you can use something different, as you can make this button some different element also, right? But we're not going to touch anything. We just leave it like a button, and we just play around with the variant, right, and see how it looks. So that's the component you are returning now, right? So any component will return HTML. Okay, so you just return that. This is the button element, and inside that button element, stored in this variable component, right? And you have class name equal to, and in the class name you pass the JavaScript code, that is cn function, remember that, and call that button variant function from here, or maybe variable, right? Let's call it variable here. So this variable has this CVA function stored, that group everything, right? And then you have variant, size, and class name, you just pass here. So in this button you are passing, basically from here you are getting this variant, size, and class name, and done. And the ref is ref, what is the reference here, right? And the props also, you have all the props spread here. That is what returned in this button. So basically that's a lot of things to understand, right? So let's forget about that. How you going to use this button? You have to understand this variant and the size. Okay, let's do that one. Right now it looks too much, but trust me, in the future, right, maybe after 6 months, 1 year of time, you guys, you will be start loving. Okay, and in the future, right, that's the future here, like whatever you're gonna do after 1 year, 2 year time, right, that is what you are learning right now. And once you understand all this process, it will make so much sense to use in your project. Okay, fine. So let's go to our page here, and what I will do, I'm just going to import, right, import button. See, so it's just coming from the @ so that is the alias @component/UI/button, and I'm gonna add here. So let's call it S1 learning shadcn, and just below here, right, I'm gonna add button. Okay, simple. So this button will give me default only, right, default. So what we're gonna do first, let's run our server and see everything working fine. So I will do npm run dev, right, dev development, and let's let it run. So localhost 3000, everything looks fine. Okay, so learning shadcn, and here is a button, right? So now what happened here? I think we just because I think everything was in this No, but it still work, right? Why? Something is not correct. Okay, fine. This is the button now, right? So if you go to the button section here, that's the default. Okay, 10 and padding 2, right? Oh, I did not pass any text here. Sorry guys, it does not work like that, you know. So you have button, right, and click here. Okay, and now look at that. I was surprised why it's not working, but I didn't pass the text. So that's the button, right? So you know, this is in the corner, right? Let me do one thing. Okay, what I'm going to do, in the component here, I will just create one container. Okay, I mean, we talked in the CSS too much, right, about container. I hope you guys remember, you know. So I will try to do something similar here. Container.js and react arrow function export. So this is just the component. I'm writing one component I will be using, right? So okay, so what we're gonna do now, I will pass the everything as children, okay, later, right, as a props here. So let's call it children, and I will wrap everything in the container, right, and then that will be displayed here as a children. So what this container will do, right, this container basically, let's say, yeah, I'm gonna add a class name. So when you pass anything, right, it should be, so width, let's say width, I will give it full. Okay, full, correct. And height, right, not width, not height, but width is full. And then max width will be maybe how much we want, 7. Yeah, so that is a 7 XL. Let's make it, right, that is around 1200 something, 1280 pixel. Okay, maximum width it can go that much. And then center, right, so mx outlook. So you guys remember, right, before we used to create a container in the CSS, and then we say width. I always do, you know, I say always use this, right, width 100%, correct, and max width maybe 1200 pixels, something like that, right, and margin 0 auto. Remember that exact same code I written here. So this container will do the same thing. Okay, so now that is done, right? Yeah, look like everything looks okay. So let's use this one. Okay, let's use this. So in my page, I'm gonna just call that container. Okay, so import container. I mean, I can use the tailwind directly, right? It's still okay, but I just want to, you know, show you something different way. So inside here, right, I just call the container, and anything inside will be added as a children to that container box. That's it. So let's check in our page now. Look at here. Okay, it just added 7 XL, right, max width. So if I go back to the container, and if I just give here bg rate 600, you know, I just want to look how it looks now, right? That's how it looks. Okay, fine. So one thing we can do, you know, right, in the global CSS. Okay guys, so here is the all this class name, right, not the class name, all the variables what is used inside our project. Okay, so the shadcn has added everything. So here we can do HTML body and maybe the root, right, so root, I think root. Okay, so the root, HTML body root, maybe give a height of 100%. Let's make it like that. Yeah, I hope that is fine. So let's check now. I mean, there is a height now, right, that is already 100% height. and we can verify that by just applying here. Let's go to the page now, right? In the page, because this container is in the center, okay? So if we go back here and say class name, right? Height, if you put full now and give a bg of orange 500, it should be, you know, it should be something like this already, right? So you get the full height by just defining something like that. But anyway, this is not the thing I want to show you, but I just added, right, something extra. Let's delete that. Okay, so we got the button now, right? So I don't like I don't like this color, okay, that default, right? I don't like so how are you gonna fix that? I want to remove this background color. Okay, you know, this container now you can use everywhere, right? One, you know, just call the container and use in any section you need to center out, right? Just put it there, okay? So now in the page, see, in the button here, look at here, you can pass any one of them, right? So let's say I want to pass destructive and see what happened. So in the page, so we can say variant, right? Variant will be so destructive. I don't know the spelling, so let me get here. So you have to call this variant, okay, variant, and then call this property name destructive. Okay, destructive, right? And see how it looks now. Look at that, that's the destructive color, right? Already, okay. So destructive, so similarly there are many, you know, you can pass destructive, and you want to pass the size also, right? So size will be, you can pass LG. Let's see if that work, right? Yeah, LG, that is LG size, okay. So if you look at now in our button here, so we have 4 size, that is default, small, LG, and then for icon you can use icon, right? Icon also, okay. So if you have to create icon, you can use icon. But let's look at the ghost, right? What is ghost variant now? Ghost variant. So go back to the page, and then you can remove this one, and you want a button with ghost, okay, and done. So this is the ghost now, right? See, so sometimes, you know, in the navigation bar, remember navigation bar, you have the links, and you want some, when you hover, right, you want some kind of effect like this, you can use this one. So we will create, okay, we're going to create maybe if not today then tomorrow class, we're going to create something with all that simple navigation bar, because I want to show you few things, you know, like how the dark mode and light mode work, how you can add couple of components and all that. So I mean, you see now, right, easily you can add, okay, by just changing the 2 property here, that's it. Okay, you can do that easily, right? Now see, even you can, let's say he does not like something, right? Maybe I will put bg purple 800. Look at that, you know. But most of the time you will not do that, okay. You're not going to do that, right? You're not going to do that, okay. If you need to add something style, you know, you create your style in the button itself here. Let's say you want to create link ghost, let's say you want to create a board, right? Board property, and now you add all the, you know, you add something like this, right? So what kind of color you want, you know, just put it right here, and then you have the option. So let's say bg, maybe this is just tailwind classes now, right here, bg purple. So BG purple, right? Let's see. So you can look at this also, right, in our, because these all things coming from somewhere here. Let's go back and check our CSS. So these are the class name, right? These are the not class name, these are just the root object added to the base, right? Base layer. Okay, this is just the property, and see this value how it used in different way. Okay, so where it is used I will show you now. That's the one, right? Let's go back, and that's the global, right? Okay, now if we go back to the config file here, tailwind. So this is the base. Just look at this, for example, this border, right? Dash border, and how this is used you can know here. Okay, look at here. So the color, right? Border color, so extended, these are the extended color. Okay, the hues, this is not RGB or other one, the hues, saturation and L, right? Remember in our CSS how you add the variable? That's it, you just call that property from that CSS page. If you call like this it will add. Okay, so all this coming from there, right? So this is for the colors. You have secondary now. So now these are things we are using, right? Destructive, these are the property we are using there. So you can just use, let's say, accent, pop over, whatever you need, right, for card. So all these styles are coming from here now, from this thing. Okay, so now let's say I do not like this style, right? I do not like this. So what you have to do now, you can change it. Okay, you can change with the theme now, theme, and just select one of them, right? For example, you want this one, then customize it, and right, customize this orange light mode, that is fine, and then light mode. Okay, and then you can copy the code, right? Copy the code. So you will get, see that it's saying just change this base layer, right? In your global CSS, change this one, and it should work. Okay, so if I copy this by clicking here, I just have to change in the base layer, so that will be in my I mean there is only one global CSS, you just have to change all this, right, this. Okay, so I will comment this out and add something below right here. Okay, that's it. And now let's look at our code. Okay, see how it looks. So this is the what we have used, right? This is the what was that before? I forgot the name. Page ghost, right? But if you go, if you don't put anything, what will be now? See, so that color added by default, that was the default setting, right? Now you can change. Now there is couple of more variant, correct? So you can change in the button. So now if you go, we can choose, right? Destructive still will be the destructive variant, but the default was that one, right? That one we selected. So you can change to destructive now. So here variant will be destructive, and you'll get the same thing now, right? That's the, this just change to now reddish color. Okay guys, so that's how it worked, right? Let's say you want to install something. What you want to install now, right? Let's go back, let's install one more. What you want now? Avatar. Okay, let's look at the avatar now, right? So you want the avatar here like this, so we just have to click on this CLI link and install now, right? So you have to go install, enter. Okay, done. So let's run our project. Okay, npm run development, and we're gonna call that avatar now, right? Just call this import avatar. So you have to import where you want to use now. Import that use, right? Uses, installation and uses. Okay, that is two things you have to focus on. So I'll just import here, same place, and the uses will be this, right? So we don't have any link. You can add your own file for the avatar, you know, any image, something, and just below the button, right? I'm gonna put that, and that's it. So you got the avatar now, right? And let's look at the page. So refresh. See, so we get, you got that avatar ready to go, you know. So you can use this in different, you know, like in the nav bar. When you click, you want to have drop down, let's say user, right? User, mostly in the website, when there is a icons of the user, you click on that and you get all like a sign in, log out, maybe a couple of things there, right? You can see that. So any component you need, you can use. You want, okay, so that is all, right? That is all here. So what we're gonna do now, maybe tomorrow, right? We're gonna build some kind of simple project. Okay, we're gonna build maybe navbar, right? Because I want to show you the, you know, we're gonna go step by step, right, by building projects. So let's start little bit and then we're gonna continue tomorrow. So I will clean this up, right? For now I don't need all this, so let's delete everything. And what I'm gonna do is, first we're gonna create the, so in the component what I will do, right, I'm going to create the header section, header.js, right, or JSX. Yeah, let's add JSX. Okay, so this header will be, let's add in our, okay, so we have header, right, header, and that will be displayed in all page. So basically it will go in the layout, correct? So import that now. So import header. Okay, and then we gonna, you know, just put it here in the body, right, inside above this wrapping file. Oh, what happened? So just here we call the header. So now this header, okay, this is the header, right? We're gonna add some kind of simple navigation in the header section. So if we look now in our website, you know, simple header here. Okay, so let's go back and start adding some style now, right? So what we're gonna add now, first we need a container. Import container, right? I need that one. Okay, so next we got a container, so let's return here, you know, header tag, right? Because this is header, better to use semantic tag, header. Save. So inside the header, right, we're gonna let's add the container, and I will call this one, maybe for now I'll just call it logo for here, right? So save. So it will be wrapped or wrapped properly. So let's add some classes here. Okay, class name, I want to give it padding x, maybe 4, x axis, right? So left and right will be 4. Let's give it padding y, I believe maybe 2 or 3 will be okay. So in the small device, okay, in the small device, right, it will be flex. In the small, after small device, not small, but you know, 640 something, above that one will be flex. Okay, and small, when it is flex, I want to have the center and all that, right? So let's see, small, so justify will be space justify between, and then item also center, right? Item will be center. That is fine. What else we can add? Yeah, so let's see how it looks now. Something like this, right? Something, it looks something here. Okay, So let's put some kind of border, right? Some kind of border maybe bottom I will add, and see, yeah, so there, right, there is a border bottom. If you want to give some like some color to the border also, you can do that. Border maybe gray, let's say 500, right, and it will be little bit darker like that. If you don't like, it's okay, right? If you want some gradient, no, what was that, busy gradient, maybe to left, right, to bottom, something like that. Or maybe shadow, let's not add gradient, but just add shadow, right? Shadow to the bottom. So let's add it shadow maybe small, and there will be little slight, I mean, you're not gonna see, right, but slightly some kind of shadow. But let's increase to LG and see what happens. Yeah, so you see the shadow there, little bit on the bottom, right? I mean, I just added something to look at. Okay, so that is done, right? See, if I go back and I put some color here, right, BZ red 600, so that is the complete, header, okay, header box. But we have a container in the center, remember the container what we create? So there is a container. So now right, now we're gonna start creating our container. So how we gonna do that? Let's go back, and I think let's see. So inside here I want to have couple of div, right? So let's go back, div. So this div gonna hold our logo, okay? So this will hold our logo, right? Or okay, let me think, right? What I want is I want the logo, after that will be the let's see, maybe the navigation links, and maybe some kind of icon also, right? We want, so I want to have a 3 section, okay? So this I will leave it maybe class name, basically flex like that, and justify between and item center, simple like this, right? We're gonna make the responsive later, okay? We're gonna make it so I have 3 div now, right? 3 div. So here will be logo, here will be the content, or maybe nav link, right? Nav link, and we're gonna have some kind of maybe buttons, like toggling buttons for dark mode, light mode. Maybe you want to display the profile of the user, some kind of the icon we just saw earlier, right? Avatar, so we will put this inside this box, maybe div. So yeah, avatar, right? Yeah, I think that is all, right? So if you look at now, right, you're gonna see something here, something like this. Here is the logo, here is all the links, and here will be some kind of icons later in the future you're gonna see. So yeah, so now okay, let's keep it up to here, right? Tomorrow we're gonna continue, we're gonna build this nav bar, because the most difficult part is building, always there is a difficult building navigation bar, right? And make it responsive, and see how easy it will be, but following simple tricks here with the shadcn and adding something ourselves, okay? And also it will be responsive nav bar, and it has a dark, you can implement dark mode, light mode, all kind of things, right? We're gonna do that. Okay, so we'll continue tomorrow, guys. I will stop here.